Alright, so UFC 313 is coming up and Alex Pereira will be defending his belt against Magomed Ankalaev, and I think this fight is way closer than people think, especially on the feet, and I want to give my breakdown for it. Let me know who you guys have in this matchup, whether it's Alex Pereira or Magomed Ankalaev, and while you're down there, I'd appreciate if you could like, subscribe. I think we're really close to 560 subs. Anyway, let me get into it. Now, I want to start off with the striking because I think this is one of the more controversial aspects of this fight, and I think there's also a lot to talk about here because this is really close on the feet in my opinion. I don't think it's Ankalaev is going to go out there and knock out Alex Pereira, but I do think it's somewhat closer than people think, because I've seen a lot of people say that Alex Pereira is going to TKO Ankalaev in the second round, he's going to leg kick TKO him, he's going to catch him with the left hook. I don't really see that happening that early, but I think this fight is very interesting because I think both guys really play into each other's weaknesses, you know. I think Ankalaev is probably the worst stylistic matchup on the feet for Alex Pereira at light heavyweight. I'm not saying Ankalaev is like a stylistic nightmare for Pereira or anything, but if you look at Alex Pereira's weaknesses and you look at Magomed Ankalaev's strengths, they kind of play into Pereira's weaknesses. But the thing is, it's the same for Ankalaev. I think Pereira plays into a lot of Ankalaev's weaknesses as well. Anyway, I'm going to start off with the leg kicks or the calf kicks because Ankalaev is a southpaw and Alex Pereira, he has pretty good leg kicks against orthodox fighters, okay? I mean, you look at the Yuri Prochazka fight, he destroyed Yuri's legs. Yuri couldn't even walk after the first round. But Alex Pereira doesn't really have that same effect against southpaw fighters. Now, I know it's kind of a huge narrative that Alex Pereira struggles with southpaw fighters. I wouldn't say he struggles with them, he's just less effective, which I think is, you know, especially the case with the calf kicks. I don't think Alex Pereira's calf kicks are remotely as effective when he's kicking a southpaw, okay? So when you look at the times that Alex Pereira has fought a southpaw, at least at light heavyweight, if you look at the Jamal Hill fight, if you look at the Khalil Roundtree fight, the calf kicks, the leg kicks really weren't that big of an issue because he tends to use a lead calf kick or a lead leg kick when he's kicking a southpaw. It clearly just does not have the same level of effect as when he's kicking an orthodox fighter. It's not even close at all. I mean, Jamal Hill, even though that fight was only 4 minutes or something, you can just tell the leg kicks, the calf kicks weren't really going to be a huge issue for Jamal Hill. He was dealing with them pretty fine. If you look at Khalil Roundtree, his lead leg really was not that compromised at all until round 3 or round 4. That was completely fine for him. So I don't think that Alex Pereira's calf kicks are going to be a huge issue for Magomed Ankalaev. Obviously, we've seen Ankalaev struggle with the kicks before, but at the same time, I don't think that Alex Pereira is going to be kicking his leg. I'm pretty sure he's just going to be going with the lead calf kick specifically, and I think that's just what he's going to target. I don't think he's going to be able to do at least enough damage to Ankalaev to where he's going to be buckling around by round 2. I really do not see that happening. But on top of that, people have talked about Alex Pereira's boxing defense. I think this narrative has kind of gone away a bit. Before, people would kind of talk about Alex Pereira's boxing defense is terrible, man, he's going to get KO'd. People used to talk about that a lot, but that narrative's kind of gone away because his head movement is clearly on the next level right now. I mean, we saw against Khalil Roundtree, his head movement was absolutely crazy. So I don't think Ankalaev's going to go out there and knock him out or anything. But Ankalaev has very good boxing. He has very, very fast hands, which I think is going to be somewhat of an issue for Alex Pereira. I don't think Ankalaev is going to knock out Pereira. I really do not see that happening, okay? But I think he's going to be able to touch him. Any exchanges in the boxing, I think will be pretty close. I don't really see Alex Pereira just dominating Ankalaev on the feet. I think Ankalaev is defensively sound enough to not just get brutally KO'd by Alex Pereira, even though that is definitely a possibility, because with Alex Pereira, his finishing ability is so good to where, even if you are pretty defensively sound, there's a good chance you're just going to get caught with the left hook coming in, and there's not really much I can really predict in terms of that. But look, bro, Ankalaev, I think he has good enough defense, and his boxing is good enough to make this a close fight on the feet. Now, something I think is pretty important in this fight, but I don't think will be too important, at least in the first round, depending on how it goes, is going to be the threat of the takedown, okay? Ankalaev is not this crazy wrestler, we all know, but I do think he's going to use it. Even though he's saying he's not going to use it, bro, there is no chance. I don't believe for a second that Ankalaev is just not going to use wrestling against Pereira. I definitely think this is going to be a big strategy to win, just because it's so obviously there, okay? I think this is a big thing for Ankalaev. If he can wrestle effectively, I think he should be able to win this fight. Logically, he should be able to win if he can just take down Pereira, okay? But, look, I think the threat of the takedown really is not going to matter until Ankalaev takes him down, okay? Because the thing is, with a lot of other fighters, Sean O'Malley, Leon Edwards, they're kind of cautious of the takedown from the very beginning. They kind of fight slowly. They're very careful of that. And I don't think that's going to be with Pereira. I think Pereira is smart enough to know that if he fights knowing the threat of the takedown and he's sitting there cautious, waiting to get, shot at, that's just not going to go well for him. He knows it's not going to go well for him, and Alex Pereira is a very smart guy. So I trust that he's not going to be, fighting cautiously. I think he's going to be pressuring Magomed Ankalaev, obviously not trying to get taken down, but like, I don't think it's going to be like the forefront of his mind. I think he's going to make sure to just strike normally as he does and just try and KO Ankalaev. So I don't think that the threat of the takedown is going to be a huge issue until Ankalaev maybe takes him down. If Ankalaev can take him down, I think the balance of this fight is going to change drastically, okay? Because Alex Pereira, if he gets taken down and Ankalaev is able to do anything effectively, okay? If Ankalaev just takes him down and Alex Pereira gets back up immediately, yeah, I don't think it's really going to matter that much. But if Ankalaev can take him down, land some good ground and pound, I think that's going to drastically change the fight. I don't think Alex Pereira is going to, be remotely as like carefree as I think he's going to be beforehand. I think he's definitely going to be very cautious with the takedown. He's going to fight way less offensively and way more defensively, because if Ankalaev can actually like score on him on the ground and do like bad ground and pound, I think Ankalaev should be able to actually like scare Alex Pereira a bit. But I think on the feet, I don't think it should matter that much, okay? As long as Pereira doesn't get taken down, and I don't really see Pereira get taken down, but at the same time, he's not really proved that he has that level of takedown defense to stop Ankalaev takedowns. So, and I think Ankalaev has decent takedowns, so I think he should be able to get Pereira down at least once, but I don't think the threat of the takedown will matter until then. So, I do think it will be close on the feet, but I think Alex Pereira is probably going to get the better of the exchanges. I think he's going to be, piecing up Ankalaev a bit, but I don't think it's going to be the way people think it is. I don't think that Pereira's just going to go out there and absolutely smoke Ankalaev. Again, I might be wrong. I think there is a good chance that he might get an early KO or something, but like, that's not really something that is like you're able to predict. This is just one of those things that might happen. There's no real reasoning for it. It's just that Pereira is that good and he might be able to KO Ankalaev. Okay, Lucas Tracy did point out an error in Ankalaev's defense, which I'm not too sure how big of a factor that will actually play in, just because no one else has really noticed that. So maybe Pereira will catch him from that opening, but I'm not too sure. But on the ground, I think this is very important, because if Ankalaev is able to take him down, I don't think it's close at all. I'm not gonna lie, okay, people are saying, Pereira's submission, that might be a joke, okay, but some people genuinely do think that. I've seen some people say that Alex Pereira has genuinely good jiu-jitsu, but he's never actually shown that. So I don't really believe that Alex Pereira has the level of like ground game to really deal with Ankalaev. Now again, Ankalaev is not this like crazy wrestler or anything, but I think he's good enough to keep Alex Pereira on the ground. And I think the thing is, with Alex Pereira, his strategy on the ground is really just to hold you there and, wait for the ref to stand you up. That's like his entire game on the ground. He just waits there. He waits for either the round to end or the ref stand you up just to take as little damage as possible. He will turtle and he'll try and get up if, he sees the opportunity, but I don't think he's going to turtle against Ankalaev. I really don't see that, because I think if Ankalaev gets Pereira's back, that will obviously be very bad for Pereira, because I think Ankalaev will be able to land pretty good ground and pound or be able to advance to a better submission. I think Ankalaev should be able to keep Pereira on the ground at least until the end of the round. So he really has to make sure that he doesn't get taken down, because I don't think it's remotely close on the ground. Okay, maybe Alex Pereira's turned into like Charles Oliveira, okay, and just throws up a triangle, subs Ankalaev in the first round like his Paul Craig. I don't really see that happening though. So I think Ankalaev, if he's able to take down Alex Pereira, I just really do not see Alex Pereira getting back up. Maybe he will TKO him on the ground. I don't really think that's going to happen. I think it's probably going to be more of a control time thing. If he can do that consistently, I think Ankalaev will win. Logically to me, I think Ankalaev should be able to win from what I understand, okay? But it's just kind of hard to pick against Pereira, and my gut is telling me Pereira, because Pereira never stops trying to KO you, and he's literally always dangerous. If you compare him to guys like Sean O'Malley and like Diego Lopez, after the first round, it's kind of obvious they're probably not going to finish you. If you look at the Merab Sean O'Malley fight, after the first round, I don't think anyone thought that Sean O'Malley was just going to get the, KO or anything. And the same with Diego Lopez. It wasn't like after the first round with Brian Ortega, you thought that Diego Lopez was somehow just going to get a KO out of nowhere. It didn't really seem like that was going to happen. And that's really not the case with Pereira, because Pereira, he's just always dangerous. And that's the thing with this fight, is that Ankalaev, he has to be perfect for basically 5 rounds. But Pereira only really needs one moment, which is why I'm going to go with him by a 4th round or 5th round TKO. I just really trust in Pereira's skills, his will, and his cardio, that he's going to be able to TKO Magomed Ankalaev late, catch him with something like a left hook. Because Ankalaev, I think he has the skills to win, and I think I kind of want to pick him to win, but I just really don't trust that he's going to be able to hold up in the later rounds. I don't think he's going to like gas or anything. I just don't think he's going to be able to consistently take down Pereira and really outstrike him there. I just don't really see that happening. Pereira's cardio is just way too good. So I'm going to pick Pereira by a 4th round TKO or a KO. I'm not really too sure. He could get the KO in the 1st round, but I don't know. I don't really see that happening. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this breakdown. And yeah, that's going to be it. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. All right.